So, three habits are killing our social lives. What are they and how do we fix it? Let's get into it. The first one is what I call WAS, the wait and see approach. What we do is we roll into a social situation and we're kind of unconsciously waiting to see if the other person is going to accept us or welcome us or to like us or whatever it is. We are waiting to see what's going to happen. And in all honesty, it's not an unnatural thing to do. In fact, it is so natural that you probably don't even realize that you do it. So when you go in there, you're kind of thinking that in the back of your mind. And as a result of that, your entire vibe is one of uncertainty or, it comes up across as a bit of a standoffishness or, you're just waiting to see what's going to happen. And that really takes all of the control out of your hands and puts it into the hands of someone else or some other group of people. Well, you don't want that. You want to start to be the person who goes in there and accepts others, who brings a warm and welcoming vibe to other people. So if you're not used to doing that, how do you change that up? Well, I say you need to start, first of all, in your very own home. And if you're by yourself, whether you're living with others, doesn't matter. You need to start being the person who brings the vibe to other people, who accepts them, who knows that you have something of value that you're bringing. And so you're out there, accepting others instead of waiting for them to accept you. Second thing that we do that is a big mistake and will kill your social life is counting on other people or another group or whatever's out there to bring the social energy, to bring the vibe, and then you'll just kind of fit along in with that and plug into it whatever's going on there, instead of taking the whole thing again into your own hands. And there's a theme here in terms of, your own agency. Instead of being someone who is affected by what's going on socially, you are the one who is bringing what's going on socially. You are kind of transforming the atmosphere. So if you're not used to doing that, if you're used to rolling in there and saying, okay, what's the vibe? I'll just, kind of meld with whatever's going on here. Stepping outside of that is a pretty big step to take, because if it's not something you're used to doing, it kind of transforms yourself in your own mind. So that's even kind of a step above the number one step, which is the wait and see approach. So how do we start transforming our own internal vibe? How do we start bringing that social energy if we're not used to doing that? Well, I would say, again, start in your own home. You need to start to become more fun to your own self. You need to start, bringing some energy to yourself when you're by yourself. I know that sounds crazy and counterintuitive, because you say to yourself, well, isn't that a whole lot of work? Well, going places and being at the mercy of other people's vibe or whatever they've got going on, to me, is a whole lot more work than learning how to transform your own vibe and bringing that everywhere you go. It's like having a suitcase packed with your own special sauce, I guess I'd say. So how do we do that? One way is to focus on things that bring us joy. Like for me, you put on some fun, happy, upbeat tunes, and you rock along with those, or you dance to them, or you just do your work in time to the music. That's one way. Another way is to start talking out loud. I mean, it's really difficult to, spend a lot of time in silence with yourself, just kind of like, stuck in your own brain. And then you're supposed to go out to have a good time. And it's like you've got to turn it on a dime. And that's not easy to do. It's much easier to start developing that while you're by yourself. I like to say, I don't, try to bring a fun vibe just when I, arrive at a party or arrive at a gathering or I show up for coffee. I'm generating that vibe the entire time that I'm home. And there are benefits to that. One of the benefits is it'll just energize you. It'll help you get more work done. It'll put you in a better mood. So what does that look like at home? So, if you're talking to yourself, how crazy is that? Well, one thing is if you've got like a pet or two, a dog, a cat, a ferret, I don't care what it is, a goldfish, everything should have a name. Even your houseplant should have a name. Start a dialogue with the pets. Start a dialogue with the houseplants. Start a dialogue with whoever's at home. But don't just take it for granted. Bring some positive social energy. A lot of what I'm saying about this is that we bring bad habits to our social lives. Well, we need to start developing good habits. And this is one of the ways you do that. And you can do that, at home. You can do it in the car. You can do it while you're out on a walk or a run. You know what? I can be out there walking, talking to myself, and, no big deal. Start bringing the energy everywhere you go. Having some positive social energy is a habit. Okay, number 3 thing that is killing our social lives, it's our smile or lack thereof. So here's the thing about the smile. Sometimes we get it in our heads, I'm only going to smile when something is super hilarious. And that is how I'm being authentic. It really takes a lot to get a smile out of me. Well, I say just the opposite. The smile can be used for so many more things than, life is super hilarious or I just won the lotto. There's a lot of stuff that happens in between those things. And if you think about, back in really olden days when we were tribes, and how did we know when people were friendly toward us? We would look for that smile. A smile is a social signal. It tells people that you're friendly, you're open to them, you're approachable, you're interested, you're happy, you're, all good things. And so if you're not smiling ever or rarely or every once in a while, you're really missing out on the ability to use that smile and accrue just a lot of, great social stuff onto yourself. So, the way to practice that, and there's 2 forms of smile I want you to be focused on. One is when you greet people or you see people for the first time or you meet somebody new. That's when you light up the big smile. That is your big, heartwarming, super big smile. And your smile should always include your eyes, okay? The second type of smile, and this is the one I want you to practice at home, is what I call the hint of a smile. It's just a slight smile. It doesn't take much effort to do it. It kind of looks like you have, some kind of secret, fun thing going on. I call it a hint of a smile, a slight smile, just a little bit of a crinkling of your eyes, and it will give you more energy and it will put you in a better mood. So it benefits you to do that, and it's just such a great habit to develop. So those 3 things, the wait and see approach, that's what I was doing. That's not what I'm doing any longer. The bringing of social energy to your social life, that is something that you can practice doing and then start bringing it and really transform the vibe of your interactions. And then the third thing is the smile. You will become so much more approachable, so much more fun, just so much more successful in your social life. So let's go, people. Let's start bringing it.